They said they saw an old woman walking very slowly, sometimes sitting on the floor or standing vacantly by the escalators. Some saw an old woman sitting in the station for a long time, then getting on an arriving train. A few hours after your mother disappeared, you and your group took a taxi through the nighttime city to bright, bustling Snack Street and huddled under red lights, tasted 56 proof Chinese liquor, and ate piping hot crab sauteed in chili oil. Father got off at the next stop and went back to Seoul Station, but Mother wasn't there anymore. How could she get so lost just because she didn't get on the same car? There are signs all over the place. Mother knows how to make a simple phone call. She could have called from a phone booth. Your sister-in-law insisted that something had to have happened to your mother, that it didn't make sense that she couldn't find her own son's house just because she failed to get on the same train as father. Something had happened to mother. That was the view of someone who wanted to think of mother as the old mother. When you said mother can get lost, your sister-in-law widened her eyes in surprise. You know how mother in these days, you explained, and your sister-in-law made a face as if she had no idea what you were talking about. But your family knew that mother was like these days and knew that you might not be able to find her. When was it you realized that mother didn't know how to read? You wrote your first letter when you jotted down what mother dictated to send to Hyungchul soon after he moved to the city. Hyungchul graduated from high school in the small village you were all born in, studied at home for the civil service exam for a year, and went to the city for his first assignment. It was the first parting between mother and one of her children. Back then, your family didn't have a phone, and the only way to communicate was through letters. Hyungchul sent her letters writing in large type. Your mother always intuitively knew when Hyungchul's letters would arrive. The postman came around 11 in the morning with a large bag hanging from his bicycle. On the days when Hyungchul's letters arrived, mother would come in from the fields or from the stream where she would be doing the laundry to receive the letter personally from the postman. Then she waited for you to come home from school, led you to the back porch and took out Hyungchul's letter. Read it aloud, she would tell you. Hyungchul's letters always started with "Dearest Mother," as if he were following a textbook on how to write letters. Hyungchul asked after the family and said he was doing well. He wrote that he took his laundry to father's cousin's wife once a week and that she washed it for him as mother had asked her to do. He reported that he was eating well, that he had found a place to sleep as he had started staying overnight at work, and asked her not to worry about him. Hyungchul also wrote that he felt he could do anything in the city, that there were many things he wanted to do. He even revealed his ambition to become a success and give mother a better life. 20-year-old Hyungchul gallantly added, "So, mother, do not worry about me, and please take care of your health." When you peeped over the letter at mother, you would see her staring at the taro stalks in the backyard or at the ledge of tall clay jars filled with sauces. Your mother's ears would be cocked like a rabbit's, trying not to miss a single word. After you finished reading the letter, your mother instructed you to write down what she would tell you. Mother's first words were, "Dear Hyungchul." You wrote down, "Dear Hyungchul." Mother didn't tell you to put a full stop after it, but you did. When she said "Hyungchul," you wrote down "Hyungchul." When mother paused after calling his name as if she'd forgotten what she wanted to say, you tucked strands of your bob behind your ear and waited attentively for your mother to continue, ballpoint pen in hand, staring down at the stationery. When she said, "The weather's turned cold," you wrote, "The weather has turned cold." Mother always followed "Dear Hyungchul" with something about the weather. There are flowers now that it's spring, it's summer, so the paddy bed is starting to dry and crack. It's harvest season, and there are beans overflowing on the paddy banks. Mother spoke in your regional dialect unless it was to dictate a letter to Hyungchul. Don't worry about anything at home, and please take care of yourself. That is the only thing your mother wishes from you. Mother's letters always swelled with a current of emotion. "I am sorry that I can't be of any help to you," as you carefully wrote down mother's words. She would shed a fat tear. The last words from your mother were always the same: "Make sure you eat all your meals, mother." As the third of 5 children, you witnessed mother's sorrow and pain and worry when each other of your older brothers left home. Every morning at dawn after Hyungchul left, mother would clean the surface of the glazed clay sauce jars on the ledge in the backyard. Because the well was in the front yard, it was cumbersome to bring water to the back, but she washed each and every jar. She took off all the lids and wiped them clean inside and out until they shone. Your mother sang quietly, "If there were no sea between you and me, there wouldn't be this painful goodbye." Her hands busily dipping the rag in cold water and lifting it out and wringing it and rubbing the jars. Mother saying, "I hope you won't leave me one day." If you called to her at that moment, she would turn around with tears welling in her big gulliness eyes. Mother's love for Hyungchul was such that she used to make a bowl of ramen only for him when he came home after remaining at school till late at night to study. Later, when you brought that up, sometimes your boyfriend Yubin would reply, "It's just ramen." "What's the big deal?" "What do you mean, what's the big deal? Ramen was the best thing back then. It was something you ate in secret so you wouldn't have to share it." Even though you explained its significance, he, a city boy, seemed to think it was nothing. When this new delicacy called ramen entered your lives, it overwhelmed every dish mother had ever made. Mother would buy ramen and hide it in an empty jar in the row of clay jars, wanting to save it for Hyungchul. But even late at night, the smell of boiling ramen would nudge you and your siblings awake. When mother said sternly, "You all go back to bed," you would all look at Hyungchul, who was about to eat. Feeling sorry, he would offer each of you a mouthful. Mother would remark, "How is it that you all come too quickly when it has to do with food?" And fill the pot with water, make another ramen, and divide it among you and your siblings. You'd be so pleased, each holding a bowl filled with more soup than noodles. After Hyungchul had left for the city, when mother reached the clay jar, she used to hide the ramen in the wood in she would call out "Hyungchul" and sink down, her legs giving way. You'd slip the rag from mother's grasp, lift her arm up, and drape it around your shoulder. Your mother would break out in sobs, unable to control her overflowing feelings for her firstborn. When mother sank into sorrow after your brothers left, the only things you could do for her were to read your brothers' letters out loud and to slip her responses into the postbox on the way to school. Even then, you had no idea that she had never once set foot in the world of letters. Why did it never occur to you that mother didn't know how to read or write, even when she relied on you as a child, even after you read her the letters and wrote replies for her? You took her request as just another chore, similar to heading out to the garden to pick some mallow or going to buy some paraffin. Mother must not have given that task to anyone else after you left home, because you never received a letter from her. Was it because you didn't write to her? It was probably because of the phone. Around the time you left for the city, a public phone was installed in the village headman's house. It was the first phone in your birthplace, a small farming community where once in a while a train would clatter along tracks that stretched between the village and the vast fields. Every morning the villagers heard the headman testing the mic, then announcing that so and so should come over to answer a call from Seoul. Your brothers started to call the public phone. After the phone was installed, people who had family in other cities paid attention to the microphone, even from petties or fields, wondering who was being sought.